गौरव, काइंडली इनेबल वेटिंग रूम. गौरव,
यस सर.
वेटिंग रूम ऑन करो ना. पाटिल सर ज्वाइन नहीं हुए ना. पाटिल सर ज्वाइन होने के बाद में फिर वेटिंग रूम हटा देना.
ओके सर.
पाटिल सर ज्वाइन हो गए गौरव. मेक हिम अ को होस्ट. और बैनर लगा सकते हो आप.
यस सर.
काइंडली स्टार्ट द यूनिवर्सिटी सॉन्ग इन द बैनर.
गीत आमुचे आकाशाचे,
गीत आमुचे सागराचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे, गीत आमुचे सागराचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे.
अभंगाचे ओवीचेही माय बोलीचे माहेर,
वाऱ्यातही मराठीचे दिवे लख घरोघर. संत महंतांचे विरागी, गीत आमुचे वादळाचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे. तंतु तंतु संघर्षाचा पैठणीत भिनलेला,
नक्षीतच पक्षी पक्षी विजयाचा विरलेला.
सोन पहाट उदयाचे, गीत आमुचे उजेडाचे, इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे. प्रज्ञेचा सूर्य नवा, शब्द शब्द उजळून गेला, समतेचा संगराचा अर्थ ढाळून गेला. विराट विशाल संस्कृतीचे गीत आमुचे, जीवनाचे इतिहासाचे जनमनाचे, गीत आमुचे जागराचे.
Thank you. I would request all participants to open their cameras, please. सभी participants सहभागी मित्र जो है अपने कैमरा ओपन करें. On behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome today's chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Vijay Pandri Pandey sir, a person with a vast teaching and research experience, a person who is a former Vice Chancellor of our university. He has a tenure of 2013 to 2017, and always an helping hand, a mentor for this Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. I welcome him. Also, I welcome today's president, Dr. Satish Patil sir, director of this UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, a person again with a vast teaching and research experience in the field of environmental science. Also have headed the environmental science department twice, currently director of this UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center. Also, he is the former BCUD director of our university, a person with a vast teaching and research experience, also have international collaboration with many universities, also have published papers in well-reputed national and international journals, also a mentor and guide for PhD students. So also I welcome Professor Satish Patil sir to this inaugural session. This NEP orientation and sensitization course, as already told you in the induction meeting, will be for 8 working days. In that topics like Indian knowledge system, holistic and multidisciplinary education, then academic leadership, governance and management, students, diversity and inclusive education, research and development, higher education in society, information technology, skill development. These are the core 8 areas on which we will focus in our entire course, and I hope that this all sessions will be beneficial to all of you, and all of you will carry something in your bags when we will gather here for the valedictory session. So not taking much of time, I would now request our honorable chief guest, Professor Dr. Vijay Pandri Pandey sir, to deliver a short inaugural address to all of us. Sir, kindly unmute, sir.
Okay. Now it is okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Thank you, Dr. Rafe, for introduction. There is a slight correction in your thing. My tenure in
Yes. 11 to
in
14.
11 to 14.
11.
2011 to 14. Okay, because I don't want some wrong statements to be made. I thank Dr. Patil and Dr. Rafe for inviting me for this inaugural session and giving the first lecture. I always, I can't say no to my old colleagues from Sambhaji Nagar because I have lots of. It is not it is a professional thing, but emotional attachment with that university. Although I served only there for 3.5 years, but the emotional attachment with that university is so much that it is very difficult to say no. And that too, the interacting with the faculty is my passion. I like always interacting with faculty, interacting with students, and there is no other joy. Even if at this age, now I can tell you, you will be surprised that I am now 75. But still, when I go and teach some portion to undergraduate students, and when I see the young generation at the age of 16, 20, in that age, you feel as if you are getting rebirth. When you interact with them, when you talk with them, there is a lot of energy, you get it. Because teaching is a profession which gives you utmost satisfaction, in fact. So definitely in my session, I will be talking about things. And now there is they call it sensitization of new education policy, NEP. Now there is as I told earlier also in my lectures, that there is a lot of confusion. Some people call it new education policy. Some people call it national education policy. Whether it is new or whether it is national. Now, let me make a very blunt statement that it is neither new nor national. Because many aspects which are there in the draft, which is made by the committee headed by Dr. Kasturirangan in 2020, just before the corona, it was put on the table. But because of the corona, 2 years or it got delayed. All the aspects, there are nothing new, in fact, we will find. Because many ideas which are given there, for example, interdisciplinary education. You will be surprised. I myself am an engineer, electronics engineer. But when I studied my electronics engineering during 1960 to 70, you will be surprised that only 60% was electronics engineering, but we learned 40% mechanical, civil, other engineering courses. So the aspects of interdisciplinary thing was right now there. We had a subject on management. We had a subject on economics. Now also it is there. Now let us talk about credit-based grading system, absolute grading system and relative grading system. Again, when I did my MTech in 1972 to 1972, we already had trimester system, not even a semester system, a trimester system, every 3 months examination, which is an example of what we call it as continuous evaluation. So we had a continuous evaluation every 3 months examination. We also had skill development, that is a practical training, whole summer vacation. We had gone to a organization and did some project there. So my intention to tell you that all the aspects which are there of blending different faculty, even Rabindranath Tagore's Shantiniketan, that idea, Shantiniketan of Rabindranath Tagore, that school education and that arts education was nothing but an example of what we call today liberal arts. We had a concept of what we call it as a liberal arts. That was already implemented by Rabindranath Tagore in his Shantiniketan. In fact, we call it curricula design, preparing good textbooks. You will be surprised that the textbook written by Rabindranath Tagore are called as Sahaj Path. They are called as Sahaj Path, which means easy to learn. Sahaj, easy. Path, lesson. So easy to learn lesson. And even today in West Bengal and Bangladesh, these textbooks of Rabindranath Tagore's are there. Even our Mahatma Gandhi had a concept of Nai Talim. Nai Talim. What it means, he also had a new Nai Talim means new education policy. And what he was telling, go to village, find out the problems which are faced by farmers, or find out the problems which are faced by masses, common man, and try to solve it through your education, through your knowledge. So in my lecture, I will be dealing with all these aspects. And another thing, when we call it national, unfortunately, for your information, in the state from which I am coming, that is Telangana, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Kerala, these are the states where those governments have not yet implemented new education policy. That is a fact. You have to accept it. So as it stands today, it is not national, but I hope that all these political differences, etc., will die down and it will become national education policy because that document is excellent. The ideas there are useful to teachers who are teaching, students who are learning, and the society who is using, or industry who is using these learned graduates or postgraduates. So with this, we will be doing it in detail. There are only two things I would like to tell before I end my this inaugural lecture, inaugural small speech, that at the end of my lecture today, all of you have to prepare within half an hour two questions which will have multiple answers A, B, C, D. So listen to my lecture very carefully because what we have to do that at the end of my lecture, based on what we discuss, what we talk, you will have to prepare only two multiple choice questions and mail it to the coordinator today within 1 hour of finishing my lecture. It is not a very difficult job. You can do it in 5-10 minutes, but you have to do it because with this process, coordinator will receive, suppose there are 100 participants, coordinator will receive 200 questions. Then he will circulate all those questions to you, and then you have to find the answers and submit it as a part of your, uh, you can say, small examination or evaluation process, or whether you are concentrating on this whole aspect or not. So I hope you will do. And then another thing I would like to tell you that all the statements I am making or all the things which I am telling, these are my personal views. I do not want to force them on you. I do not expect that you agree with all my statements and all my postulates. You will have you have equal right to have different opinion. I believe more in the interactive sessions because continuously talking for 2 hours and nothing taking nothing back, it doesn't have any meaning. So we will have a lot of interactions. Keep your questions or doubts ready. Unless you are curious, unless you have doubts, we cannot go ahead. So have your questions ready, have your doubts freely cleared during this session. So please remember, this is going to be a very interesting interactive session rather than a boring 1 hour or 2 hours continuous one-way traffic. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, sir. So, not taking much time, I would now request our Honorable Director, Professor Satish Patil, sir, to deliver a presidential remark to this inaugural session.
Good, good afternoon, all of you. Honorable, respected chief guest of this function, respected Sri Dr. Pandey sir, ex-vice chancellor of my university, and a renowned educationalist, scientist, and all fellow participants, my colleague Dr. Rafe. Now we have a 15th this 15th NEP orientation strategy program, which we are organizing for this year. And as it has rightly been pointed out by Pandey sir, before earlier to this NEP 2020, there were several practices, particularly in the professional education systems, that the multidisciplinary education pattern was there. And even the assessment pattern was, outcome-based assessment pattern was also there. But in fact, it was missing in the traditional education system. And through this NEP, we are trying to introduce this at the traditional education system. In fact, we know that this NEP 2020 is to enhance the pedagogical skills, particularly for the teachers, in order to improve the teaching abilities of the in us to the cutting edge pedagogical tools and techniques. Even you know that today we have enough digital literacy, and this NEP 2020 is fostering us with the necessary skills to effectively integrate the technology and digital resources into their teaching practices. In fact, the skill courses which we were missing earlier in our traditional education systems, now we have a good opportunity to include all the necessary skills to effectively integrate the technology into it and to encourage all the educators about a research-based approach in their teaching and contribute in innovation, particularly in the higher education systems. In fact, this will help students to build a leadership capacity into them, because leadership qualities among the educators to manage the academic institutions with a vision and with a certain accountability is a necessary part of education system today. Now, as it has been rightly pointed out by Pandey sir, that now we have to go for the advanced inclusive education systems that addresses the diverse learning, the needs of the students from the various socio-economic and cultural backgrounds. Being a teacher, we should have to have a commitment to the students, society, and excellence. And to become a good teacher, we should also have to have a basic human values. And I think through this NEP 2020 sensitization orientation program, we will have a discussion and interaction with all the renowned educationalists and scientists and the education experts from the pan India. And I hope that you all participants will try to interact and will try to involve in every discussions. As it has been rightly pointed by Pandey sir, if we can have 2 questions from every of the lecture, every of the session, I think you will be with almost 20 questions each, set of 20 to 25 questions each with the answers. And if you are 100 or 200 numbers, if you multiply it, I think the entire the questions and the problems with the education, what we have with regard to the NEP 22 education systems, I think that will be solved. And that is what it is very, very important that you must concentrate on the each and every session and listen carefully to the experts and share your also some experiences with them also, so that they will enlighten each and every aspect of NEP 2020 which has been expected for. So I congratulate all of you and welcome all of you to this course, and also thank respected Pandey sir for giving his value to inaugurate this session and share your thoughts with our participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, with the permission of our respected director, Professor Satish Patil, sir, I declare that this inaugural session is over. And I'm really thankful to Honorable Dr. Vijay Pandey sir for sparing his valuable time for this inaugural address. And we are really eager to hear Dr. Vijay Pandey sir's full lecture. So I would now hand over the session to him. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Patil and Dr. Rafi once again. Let us start our session. Before I start, I would like to read one letter, and it is really apt in the present situation. This letter was written during the after Second World War. At the end of Second World War, one letter was found in the concentration camp. It is addressed to teachers of the world, and therefore it is very important. The letter says, remember, after Second World War, this letter was found in the concentration camp and addressed to all the teachers. It says, dear teachers, I am survivor of concentration camp. My eyes saw what no man should witness. Gas chambers built by learned engineers. Children poisoned by educated physicians. Infants killed by trained nurses. Women and babies shot and burned by high school and college graduates. So I am suspicious of education. My request is help your students to become good human beings. Your efforts must never produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, educated illiterates. I repeat, educated illiterates. Reading, writing, arithmetic are important only if they serve towards making our children more human. A beautiful letter which is applicable even today. Because as you all know, we are on the verge of Third World War. More or less, you are seeing what is happening in various boundaries of various countries. And not only that, the moral values in the society, you just see every day the news on the television or in the newspaper. The moral values are going down. The children are caught in degraded moral values. Children, I mean, less than 18 years old of boys are caught in inhuman activities. Then the question is, what is our education doing? Does it not have any influence, effect on them? What is the meaning of education? Are we simply giving them some degree, teaching some mathematics, some English, some language, some economics? What is the use? See, I can tell you another example. You ask any person who is of my age, that is 70 plus, any person in your family around, you ask him, you will find he or she will tell that compared to today, the education which they had 50 years or 60 years back, that had a good quality. The quality is definitely going down compared to the education which they had. Even I tell you, that time they say, if you have a grandfather in your family who is 75 and 80, even if he is matriculate, 11th passed, his English will be excellent, better than a graduate or a postgraduate of today. Why? Number of colleges have increased. Schools definitely has increased. IITs, NITs, medical colleges, management, everything increased. So obviously, the number of seats have increased everywhere. Opportunities are there for everybody, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your caste, irrespective of your religion. You have access to education. But is it a quality education? Again, we read in the newspaper that all these people from the industries or those who want to give jobs, they say, there is a common complaint that the graduates or postgraduates produced by the present day universities in our country, they are not fit for employing. They don't have the skills which are required for jobs. Why it is like that? Yes, they teach, you take their examination. If you see their mark list, maybe they passed with first class. Even I see when you see the 10th results are declared, 12th results are declared, hundreds of students get 100%. Many students get 98%, 99%. Even there is an examination, entrance examination called GATE in engineering after graduation. There is a percentile, GATE percentile, 99, 98. But if you interview these candidates and ask them few questions, they are flop. The reason is we teach them, but we don't prepare them for learning. I repeat, we teach them, but we don't prepare them for learning. What is required in today or for future is learning, not learning, relearning, unlearning, relearning, unlearning, and continuous learning. But what we are doing, we only concentrate teaching learning process. And what is our teaching? Continuously talking for 1 hour. That's all. If you have a class at 10 o'clock, you go to at 10 o'clock and till 11 o'clock for 1 hour, you keep on talking. There is hardly any discussion. There are hardly any questions. I'll tell you my own experience. What is the situation today? Even at this age, I'm taking few classes in the undergraduate. 40 years back or 45 years back, attendance was 100% or 90%, 95%. Today, it is 40 to 50%. Students are not coming to the classes. But if you see their result, final result, 80% students are passing in first class with distinction in our department. What does it mean? They don't come to the classes, still they pass with first class with distinction. Does it mean that our teaching is redundant or our examination, there is something wrong with our examination system? We are not able to create a situation that unless a student attends class, he cannot pass the examination. We are not able to create that situation where unless he attends the class, he cannot pass the examination. He is able to pass the examination today without attending the classes. I do not know whether the teacher who are evaluating their papers, they are at wrong, or the teachers who are setting question papers, there is something wrong with them. I think this is the thing which you have to ponder. Another thing, I will give you very simple examples that where do we go wrong. If you see our school education and its syllabus, yes, syllabus is very good. Let me tell you, our Indian syllabus of 10th and 12th standard is much, much better compared to US or Europe thing. But still, their school top, Europe, if you see a European student or an American student in 11th class or 12th class, the way his knowledge and our knowledge, in spite of learning so many subjects, so much mathematics, so much science, so much history, etc., we are not able to communicate properly. Our students are not able to express. You ask any student, talk on this topic for 10 minutes. Talk on this topic for 10 minutes. He will not be able to do it. I'm giving you a real example, which is not a fake story or fiction story. It is a real story. when I joined as a lecturer in IIT, it may be this is a story about 75, 74, 75, 1974, 1975. We were sent just like you had this short-term course. We also had a short-term course in our subject, and we were sent to another IIT for this 15 days short-term course. There, what happened? Of course, most of the lectures were taken by professors. But one professor gave one lecture to his student who was doing PhD with him, and he was also a research associate, research assistant or research associate. I mean, already postgraduate and doing PhD. Remember, already postgraduate and doing PhD. That was his maybe 26, 27 years old. So only one lecture he said, you take it. So this gentleman came and stood on the dais. Believe me, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, he could not talk a single sentence. This is I am telling an incident in IIT. He was not able to talk or deliver that lecture. Ultimately, and we of course understood his problem. Yes, there is something, he has become nervous, etc. So we all were very silent and cooperative, okay, like that. But ultimately, he has to give up. But the same gentleman today has got hundreds of research publications in international journals. He is a renowned scientist. Now, he has written many books which are published from United States and Europe. Same. Things can change if you have a will. Things can change. So communication skills are very important. For a teacher, for example, what are the qualities when we say good teacher? Is PhD required? If you ask my personal opinion, PhD is not a must for good teacher. At least for graduate teaching, BA, BSc, BCom, that is graduate teaching, in my opinion, PhD is not must. Because without PhD also, you can be a good teacher. Because we are seeing, even with PhD and with so much experience, people are not able to deliver the goods. They are not able to attract the students or grasp the attention of the students in the class. On the other hand, there are certain cases or there are certain examples. They may not be a PhD, but they are good teachers. Again, real example, my guru's guru in IIT. Believe me, my guru's guru means a person with whom I did my PhD. He did PhD with that man. Guru's guru, grand guru you can call it. He himself was not PhD. He was not PhD, but he was a professor. He was head of the department. Not only that, he became the director of the IIT without PhD at that time. So, good administration, and I can tell you this, he himself, without being PhD, he has produced dozens of PhD. Without being PhD, he has produced dozens of PhD, including my guru. My guru was his student. And he was an excellent teacher. Excellent teacher. That is, if you want to select in that subject, let us say, 5 best teacher in the world, you will have to select him. You will have to select him. Such a nice, excellent teacher he was. So PhD is not a must. You may ask then why they say UGC or AICT or something, they insist on PhD. Yes, PhD gives you how to think logically, how to think, do work independently, how to have so-called research discipline, academic discipline, logical thinking, reasoning, questioning, doubting, All these qualities which are required for the teacher, they come when you do good research for 3 years or 4 years, whatever it may be. But I tell you, today, when you go home, I think most of you must be PhD. I am sure. Most of you must be PhD since you are the university teacher. I am telling you honestly, go home tonight. You ask yourself. I have done PhD. I have produced a PhD thesis. Who has used my work? For whom this work was useful? Was it useful for society? Has anybody used in the industry? Has government used it? Has any organization, NGO, or any social organization used it? I can tell you, you will have no answer, except there may be some exception, I know, but 90% people will have no answer. There, whatever you have done, you yourself do not know what is its application or whom can I give this work that, okay, I have done this work, please use it, solve this problem. See, for example, in the Maharashtra, there is a problem for farmer. Farmers are committing suicide. Has any research scholar gone deep into it and solved that problem and found out that why they are committing really suicide? What are the economic reasons? What are the social reasons? What are the how much you can blame environment, and who are all responsible for that situation? Has anybody done a systematic study and given to the government? Still, government is not, still you are giving them loan waiver, this waiver, that waiver, and so many things. But we are still not able to solve the problem. Why university cannot solve that problem? Why they cannot suggest some agriculture university or something that, okay, do this, this problem can be solved. Let me tell you, there is no, in engineering, we always say there is no problem for which there is no solution. Every problem has a solution. Not only that, we believe that if sometimes problem has multiple solutions, not one, many solutions. Only you have to choose what we call it as optimum solution, best solution. But the way in which we teach the subject, we do not tell them why are we learning. I'll give you some examples because I know you may be from mixed background. Somebody may be from science, somebody may be from economics, somebody may be from arts, languages, mathematics, computer science, etc., etc. So I'll give you an example from our school learning only. You have learned area of a circle is pi r square. Yes, all of us have learned area of a circle is pi r square. How many of you know how that pi r square has come? Where from that pi came in that formula? You simply write area of a circle is pi r square. But what is the real meaning of area? And how that area, while calculating that area, that unknown fellow, which is irrational number, his value nobody knows, people still are counting, keep on calculating, that pi, it's I mean, approximate value is 3.14 something. But if you keep on, I mean, it is 22 by 7, but you divide 22 by 7, that division is endless. So where from it has come? Think tonight, you think. You have been taught. Again, I will give you another example in the class, which you have studied in the school. Sum of two sides of a triangle is always greater than third side. This is a theorem which we have learned in our school. Sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than third side. Have you asked any time the teacher. So what? Yes, sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than third side. Yes, it is obvious. It looks from the figure itself. But what is its use? Where this fact is used? Is it useful in my kitchen? Is it useful in my day-to-day activity? Is it useful somewhere? Have you asked this question to the teacher, or even have you asked this question to yourself? That where this fact is useful? I am now opening this question to all of you. Do you know where this fact is useful? Let us discuss something. Let us have some brainstorming session. Does anybody know that this fact that sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than third side, is it useful in life? Does it have a practical application? Yes. Matter is open. I'm asking you. If anybody wants to answer, you unmute and answer. Yes, please. Anybody wants to answer? See, have you learned now? Where we say, I am a graduate, I have done PhD, I have done this, I have done that. But these are the simple things, because the reason is we do not learn with curiosity. We only look. We only we only see. We do not look into the problem. We only see. There is a difference between seeing and looking. There is a difference between hearing and listening. We are very casual in learning. We are very casual in teaching. My statements may be harsh. My statements may look bitter, but these are the facts. Is there anybody ready to want to answer? There is no mathematics teacher here. Sum of two sides of a triangle greater than third side. Where is it used? Does it have any practical application? This theorem. Rafe, how many students are there? Coordinator? How many participants are there? I'm only. Please try to answer. Try to think. We have learned it in school. All of you have learned. You may not have taken mathematics later, but this fact all of you have learned that in any triangle, sum of two sides of a triangle is greater than third side. Where is it used? No, nobody? So have you understood? Let me tell you. We say lecture is delivered. What word is used for lecture? We deliver the lecture. You know the meaning of delivery? Delivery, yes, ladies will know. Delivery is a painful exercise. You are giving rebirth to new soul. You are giving everything inside you to that new soul. That is why we say lecture is delivered. See, every word we use has a meaning. It is not used just like that. In English, I tell you, or maybe even Marathi, Hindi, etc. Whatever word we use, it has a meaning, deep meaning. Lecture is delivered. He gave a talk. Of course, we say he gave a talk. He gave a talk. But we say lecture, I have delivered my lecture. I have delivered my lecture. Do you know why we are not able to answer this simple question? Because we call teaching as a load. Unfortunately, in our university, there is a terminology called as teaching load. In academic section, what is your teaching load? My teaching, lecturer's teaching load, 18 hours per week. Readers, maybe 14 hours or whatever. Professor, 10 hours per week. We call it teaching load. If you call teaching as a load, that itself loses the meaning of education. Teaching is not a load. Teaching is a joy. Teaching is enjoyment. Teaching is passion. Teaching means enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. When you get up in the morning, what do you say? I have to go to college, or I am going to college. I have to deliver the lecture, or I am going to deliver the lecture, or I want to deliver the lecture. There is a difference. I have to means somebody is forcing me. I am not interested. I have to, because this is my job. This is the responsibility given. On my own, if it is not there, I would not have gone to the class. If you say I have to go, means somebody is forcing me to go. So, as a matter of fact, when I was the vice chancellor at this university, I removed that word. We never used the word teaching load. We say teaching hours. Teaching hours, not load. Teaching is not a load. Please remember. If in your department also, remove that word, teaching load. Don't utter that word again. My teaching load is 18 hours per week. Remove it. Unless you consider teaching as healthy, joyful exercise, healthy and joyful exercise, you cannot make the students learn. Now, what is the real meaning of learning? I gave you these examples. That is they must be able to find, ask questions. Do you know what is the definition of a science? What is the definition of science? Science is a thing which always changes. Always changes. What was yesterday will be not today. What is today will not be tomorrow. For example, there was one scientist, he said matter is particle. Matter is particle, gets Nobel Prize. After some years, another scientist comes, his own son, and says, no, matter is not a particle. Matter is not a particle. Matter is a wave. Matter is a wave. That's all. He gets a Nobel Prize. He also gets a Nobel Prize. After some years, another scientist comes. He says, matter is not a particle. Matter is not a wave. Matter is uncertain. Uncertain. Uncertainty principle, Heisenberg, again gets a Nobel Prize. That's all. Science is not a thing. What you told yesterday is not true today in science. What you is today truth. It is, for example, whatever PhD I did, it was already said that something is wrong with here, and again somebody corrected it. Already. I also corrected somebody's drawback. So it is a continuous progress. For example, in our school, we have learned those gintis, what we call that 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, like that. Now it is meaningless. With calculator, you don't need to remember those ginti. Ginti or pade, we learn. Tables, we learn. Now it is meaningless. There is no need to remember those tables. Log table, nobody uses. There was a thing called as a logarithm table, trigonometrical table. Nobody uses it because all that information is there in the thing. Even the complicated calculus we teach and these things we teach. Now it is not required, but computer is doing. Now there is a more danger which has come in the education. And that is, all of you know, it is AI, what is called as artificial intelligence. And the people are afraid that why are we teaching? All information is available in their hand, mobile. All information is available in mobile. You need not teach them. And I can tell you this is a fact. On YouTube, there are lectures available on any concept, any doubt. And that lecture is hardly 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but your all concepts will get cleared in a very simple language. Now, student does not need you to teach him or tell him something. Already textbooks they are not following. Go to the library of your college and count the number of students there. It is a bhoot bangla. Libraries have become bhoot bangla. Nobody is visiting the library nowadays. Nobody knows. In many interviews, I asked the student, what textbook you use for this subject? What textbook you use for this subject? He is not able to tell me the title of the book or author of the book. I graduated in 1970. You ask me any subject, the name of the textbook, I can tell you. Because I have used it. Thoroughly I have used it. Therefore, I know it. So, unless you tell them whatever you are learning, why are we learning? What is its use? What is the significance of poetry in my life? Yeah, we say those who are teaching literature, English, Hindi, Marathi, Sanskrit, or whatever. You teach poem. Why are we teaching? What is the significance of poetry? If you are teaching a poetry by some poet, how that poet is different from other poets? What is his philosophy towards life? How he is looking to the nature? How he understands the pain around? What is his definition of pain? What is his definition of joy? What is his definition of satisfaction? Unless you discuss these aspects. For example, morality. Are we teaching morality at any stage? Are we teaching ethical principle at any stage? No. These are more important. See, I may be PhD. I may see just now that Dr. Rafe has read my biodata. Oh, so many publications. Vice Chancellor of 3 universities, etc. But suppose I am not a good human being. I don't behave properly with my colleagues, my subordinates, my seniors. What is the use of that qualification? What is the use of that education? Steve Jobs, a person, Apple, Apple computer. That's Steve Jobs. Everybody. I do not know how many of you have read his autobiography or biography. Please read Steve Jobs' autobiography or biography. He had hardly 22 years of active life. Do you know that? Only 22 years of active life. When he graduated at the age of 21, he was a totally confused man. When he graduated at the age of 21 or 22, he was a totally confused man. In fact, he came to India He went to Himalayas in search of a peace, in search of in knowing what is life, what is the purpose of life, why I am here, etc. Again got confused. His passport was stolen, so he was forced to go back to his country. And then in his own garage, he started some assembly of some integrated circuits, chips, and developed computers, and the rest is the history. He died at the age of 42 or 43. So total span only 2 decades. What has it done? He has revolutionized everything. Whole world of computer, whole world PC, computer, laptop, name anything. Apple, passion. He was very particular. He used to ask his engineer, if you are doing this, why are you doing this? When we are producing a mobile phone, new mobile model, what should be his size? What should be its weight? What should be the color? If the corners are round, what should be the radius of that? For everything, there must be a reasoning. There must be a reason. Is it useful for ladies? Can they carry easily in their purse or pockets? All these aspects. See, when you produce anything or when you produce any product, it must be or you produce a knowledge. We have to, learning is what? Learning is not gaining knowledge. Learning is to prepare to produce a knowledge. Remember, learning is not simply gaining knowledge. Learning is ability to produce new knowledge, new thing. Unless you are prepared something for something new, you are useless in this society. Do you know, we had industrial society, we had agriculture. We started with agriculture society, industrial society. But now, with automation, with artificial intelligence, with machine learning, after 10 years, we will have useless society. I am not joking. When your sons and your grandsons will grow, they will live in useless society because you will now, everything will be done by computer. Now itself, you order, TV is on. You say something, that song will come. You say switch off, your kitchen microwave will be switch off. You don't have to move to the kitchen to switch off. You can switch on and switch off from your office also. By the time you come, things will be ready. So to that extent, all that, and because of this, what has happened? Unless you are familiar with many subjects, you cannot grow. For example, it is not only computer which has changed life. It is computer along with biology, computer along with information technology, biology, information technology, genetic engineering, genetics, body. Because how AI has come? People wanted to know how brain works. दिमाग कैसे काम करता है? How brain works. And they started with, can we produce something equivalent to brain or faster than that? And with that intention, this whole business of artificial intelligence have come. But is it perfect? No. It is not at all perfect. It does not have emotion. It cannot replace human being because it does not have consciousness, which is the natural property of human being. It doesn't, artificial intelligence doesn't have consciousness. Chetana is not there. It cannot cry. It doesn't have feeling. It doesn't understand your feeling. It looks to you, yes, as a patient. AI doctor, AI doctor will look to you as a patient. He will be able to diagnose better than, faster than the normal doctor. Yes, that is possible because that technology is able to enter in your body where the normal equipment of a doctor is not enter. You know, normal doctor, they used to put stethoscope, or he will take, for taking ECG, he puts something here, takes ECG, etc. That's all, that is limited. But we know that there are many diseases which are very difficult to locate or diagnose. That AI can do it faster and other thing. But AI cannot console you. AI cannot talk to you with a love. That is not possible. And there it is. But where is the danger? The danger is, let me tell you, people are, because since we are, a lot of talk is going on about artificial intelligence and other things, I shall tell you where is the danger. The industrial revolution so far was limited, where the product you produce was doing according to the instruction given by you. The product which you are producing was doing according to the instruction given by you. For example, when you want to cook the food in microwave oven, you put it, switch it on. You want 30 seconds, it will hot for 30 seconds. You want to make it 90 seconds, it will heat for 90 seconds. So control was in your hand. You have produced nuclear bomb or atom bomb, but where to put that nuclear bomb or atom bomb decision is in your hand. Unless you tell, unless you tell your product or missile or thingy that hit that target, it will not go. But problem with artificial intelligence is it is able to take its own decision. It is able to relearn by itself. You don't need to give the instruction. You don't have to modify the instruction. It will learn. It will decide where to put that bomb. It will decide whom to kill. That is the danger. That is the danger. See, when we invented printing machine, we are writing the book. I am writing a book. I am giving it to the press, and that press fellow is publishing it. But now that book writing is also AI is doing. That is the problem. So you don't know. You cannot instruct that you don't write this. You don't. We have, for example, we have a censorship. Everything I write doesn't get published. They censor it. But with AI, that is the problem. So as far as when we are talking about education, when we are talking about digitization of education, even in our evaluation system, when your marking system, we say relative grading. You see, now even you can, grading also AI can do. Grading also, AI teachers have already come. And as I told you already, forget about AI. even on YouTube, very best teachers are available. The examples which I gave you, if you don't want to learn how, mathematics, we have learned logarithm. Many people don't know what is the meaning of logarithm. That decibel, DB, what is the meaning of decibel? How it has come? What is the trigonometry? Where is it used? What is the calculus? Integral calculus, vector calculus, where is it used? Many things but if you go to YouTube, topmost teachers in the world can teach you in half an hour with examples. So now think whether how to change your teaching methodology under this situation. How to make yourself important. How student can feel that if I today do not go to the class of Dr. Patil or Mrs. Lakshmi, I will miss something. So I must attend the class of Mrs. Lakshmi or Dr. Patil. He must feel your need to learn. How can you create that interest? That is the big challenge. So I think before we go for a small break, tea break, I'll for 15 minutes, let us have some discussion on whatever I have talked or whatever maybe not related to my talk. Any doubts you have, any questions you have, you can ask me very freely. Don't be shy. Don't be ashamed of asking that how should I ask this question? No, you ask. Anything you can ask. Let us have a fruitful discussion for 15-20 minutes because I told you we learn through discussion, not by one-way traffic. So let us have some discussion. Coordinator or somebody can monitor these who want to ask questions. Before we go for a small break, let us have some question answer session, discussion. You can also tell your views also. It need not be a question. If you want to say, have a different opinion on any topic other than me, you are free to express your opinion. Yes. Coordinator, please monitor. Coordinator, please come forward. Ask questions on anything. It may be related. Yes. R wants to ask. One. Coordinator, please unmute a person who wants to. Vinita wants to ask. Coordinator, please. Where is coordinator? Please unmute a person who wants to ask. Nobody is there. Why there is no response? Dr. Rafe,
Hello. Yes, sir.
please unmute the person who wants to ask question. Let us have some discussion.
Yes, now participant, you can unmute yourself.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Charan Singh Sarkar. Yes, ma'am, you're audible. You can ask.
Yes. Actually, I'm from visual art. Many time, it is just my opinion or my observation that uh, in our field, there is lot of people who having a good practice in art, means painting or any type of designing and all. But when time to come for teaching, they are not able to teach or not delivered lecture in proper way or means for a good manner. So, uh, sir, what is your opinion on this? Sir, unmute yourself, sir. Vijay, sir, please unmute yourself.
Okay, okay. Is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
See, it is not only for visual arts or liberal arts, it is for any other subject also. That when you want to teach a particular concept, as I told you, your eyes must be open. There are a lot of examples around us only by which you can, see, always you teach by stories. Unless you tell a story, people will not get that concentration. So, giving examples, telling stories, that is the best way to, and correlating the things. For example, I tell you, if you are talking about music, do you know that music also has a mathematics? Every instrument, whether it is tabla, sitar, flute, it looks like a simple instrument, but in it, it has a mathematics. So, if you create an interest in a student that yes, this is related to that, it is like this, it is because of this, and for which, of course, teacher has to take effort. Read a lot. First, a teacher himself or herself has to read a lot. And automatically, if you keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, I tell you, nature is a beautiful university. Nature around you is a beautiful university. You don't have to go to any university. Nature itself is a beautiful university. Do you know that our body itself, our body has a mathematics in it. All dimensions of our bodies, they are in a particular proportion. Yes, tall person will be a tall, a small person will be a small, but ratio of certain lengths, they are same. Ratios are same. Actual values may be different. So in visual arts, which you are telling, if you can mix it with some mathematics, simple mathematics, or science, or things which are there in the kitchen, things which are there in the song, things which are there in the uh, jungles, I think it will be, or can you relate it to some poetry with some poem, some song? It will be beautiful. Next.
Sir, my question is that when there are so many shortcuts for no achievements, so why people will sit in the traditional classroom for hours and hours, and how to manage that situation, sir?
What were you saying?
Sir, I'm saying that nowadays there are so many shortcuts to achieve success. So that
No,
is
who
why
told me that?
students.
No. First of all, this statement is wrong. That there are so many shortcuts for success is a absolutely wrong statement. There are no shortcuts for any success. What if it is true shortcut? It is not a permanent success at all. It is a temporary success, or you call it as a success, but it is not a success. First of all, that statement I don't agree. Shortcut, whatever you get through shortcut is not at all a success. People are not
So,
happy.
sir,
Let me tell you, you may get a
yes, sir.
2 lakh salary. You may not be graduate, but have a 2 lakh salary, or I would say not salary, income. But a teacher may have less salary, but the joy and satisfaction he gets is much more than the person who gets 3 lakhs and with all tensions, with all unhappiness. So another question is how to attract to the classroom. That itself is become a good teacher. That's all I tell you. Because create a situation. I told you the answer. Create a situation. What is your name?
Sir, I am
Hello?
Pulen from I am Pulen from Assam. I am Pulen, sir, from Assam.
Okay, Puran. So late in the night. And now, because of this online business, even I would tell you, just like now, I am in Hyderabad. You people are in Assam, somebody is in Madhya Pradesh, somebody is in Aurangabad, somebody is in Mumbai. And we are able to, although we are not able to see and have a physical interaction, able to see physically, but at least we are able to discuss. So, if there is a need, actually, the help of the beauty of technology is you can reach now anybody at any time. 10 to 5, that class hours, or 10 to 5 college hours, that concept has to go. If there is a need, you can take a class at 8 o'clock in the night if it is convenient to all. What is wrong? Tell me. There is nothing wrong. Yes, if you need, blackboard and other thing, maybe, but through slides you can always teach. So, teaching 10 to 5, working hours, office hours, all that concepts have to go. For example, I tell you, when I was a vice chancellor, I found it in Marathwada region. Why students are not coming? Because they are going to the fields. They have to help their parents, poor parents, when the crops are coming up. And they get money, 200 rupees, 300 rupees daily wages. That is more important for them because they for their food more than they attending the classes. Then what is my duty as a teacher? My duty is to find out when the student is free, and accordingly I should take a class. Not when he is going to the field. Let him attend the field, and maybe after attending the field, after he has a dinner, have a class at 8 o'clock in the night. That has, fortunately, technology is helping you in that direction. But unfortunately, we are not using it that way. And that freedom is there. See, if you do innovative things, nobody will question you. Why are you doing this? Any good thing will not be questioned. You have some novelty in the examination system. Why that always 1 hour examination, 20 marks, 3 hours examination, 50 marks? Why? Give a big problem to them and say, submit it after 2 days. Use any book. Go use any library. Go anywhere. But after 2 days, find out the answer and give him. It is not only 3 hours examination, 50 marks, 1 hour examination, 1 hour viva, this viva. Why have a novelty in the evaluation system also? Yes. That freedom new education policy gives. To learn anything, we want to give freedom to student to learn according to his choice, not according to what I want to serve.
नहीं है ज्यादा वो लोग भी बेचारे आखिरी में आते आते हिंदी मीडियम भी हो जाते क्योंकि
Yes, anyway.
मैक्सिमम आपके में तो फिर भी है फर्स्ट ईयर में इस बार हमारे में तो सिर्फ 2 ही लोग हैं
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
As I am from the management background,
हमारे दो ही हैं
there is
Hey,
very
just wait.
less opportunities in the
Just
management
wait.
field,
There
sir,
is
for
a
a good teacher.
हमारे दो ही है ना
just a minute.
और
There is
वो
a
लोग भी अब मिक्स हो
cross talk
गई
of
हैं
a lady.
क्योंकि अब इतने टाइम हो गया तो बोले नहीं मैंने उनसे पूछा था तो बोले नहीं
Coordinator, can you mute that lady? Okay, go
Good
ahead.
evening, sir.
Yeah.
As I am from management background, and there is
Tell your
very
name,
less.
please.
My name is Sandeep, sir. Sandeep Jadhav.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yes, sir. And there is very less opportunity in the field of management for a good teacher, sir. So I am eager to take some good advice from you, as the management market is very cluttered, sir. And you said before that the PhD is not necessary for teaching. As I am
Yeah.
net set, yes. So what precious advice you can give to me to give the best teacher to become make a good career in this
ठीक है
teaching
ऐसे ही
field, sir?
माहौल है उन लोगों का भी फेस्टिवल है ना
Coordinator, please
बात से गए
please unmute that lady. Okay. See,
हाँ छुट्टियां बहुत हैं
who is creating this disturbance? Okay. Yes. Now you are able to listen.
Yes, sir.
See, management has got lot of scope.
Okay, sir.
I tell you, time management
Okay.
is very important, right?
Okay, sir.
Critical thinking, very
Okay, sir.
important. Logical thinking is very management. You can teach by stories.
Okay, sir.
For example, you can tell how even Mahabharata time there was a management. How in
Okay, okay.
Ramayana there was a management. See,
Okay, sir.
nothing can be done without managing. Best management is your mother.
Okay.
She is doing parallel processing. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
At one time, ladies or our mother, they do 4-5 works at a time. So that is the best example. So time,
कोएड है ना वो पर अब तो अच्छा हो गया वो कौन सा पीएम वाला क्या बना दिया
coordinator, please unmute. Okay.
Yes,
Any
sir.
other thing? You see,
तो यहाँ
I am telling you, always tell by stories.
Okay, sir.
Always tell by telling stories and involve students in learning. Don't
Okay, sir.
teach. See, continuously, if you talk for 1 hour, you will get bored. So,
Understood, sir.
first ask, we are going to learn this. What is your opinion about this? Today, we are going to learn about, let us say, moral values in your management.
Okay, sir.
So, what is your opinion about moral values? Can you give an example where I have a dilemma what to do? Okay.
Okay, sir.
For example, I'll tell you. I'll give you an example how to tell what is good and what is bad as far as moral values is concerned. What is this nonsense I say?
इस टाइप में हम लोगों का आरजीपी भी नहीं है मैं आरजीपी में भी
Coordinator,
6
please.
साल करके आई हूँ पर वो टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी मतलब हमारे हो सकता है हम लोग वहीं पे जॉब कर रहे थे तो हमें ऐसा लगता है बट वहां में नहीं लगता था कि इतना ज्यादा कुछ परेशान करते हैं वो लोग और हो सकता है करते हो बेचारे क्योंकि वहां तो सर पूरे बाहर
Coordinator,
से
please
आते हैं
stop.
आरजीपी में तो पूरे कॉलेज एफिलेटेड है तो बेचारे लोग कहाँ से तो आते हैं वहां पर
Coordinator, can you stop this?
नहीं मैं तो यही थी पहले
Okay.
हाँ उसका ही बहुत चला था
And what is this I say?
डॉक्टर के बेचारे लोग ऐसे इतने मुश्किल से बनती हैं यार बेचारे
Please stop this. Can you ask that lady to leave?
गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज में मिला था लड़की प्रॉपर थी वो इसको नीट निकलता है क्या नीट यूजी निकलता है और उसने नीट पीजी निकाला एमबीबीएस कर चुकी थी एमएस कर रही
Coordinator, please.
गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज से कर रही थी
सही बात है
We'll break it for tea and I'll continue now. We'll break it for tea and we'll continue.
और ट्रेनिंग भी अभी हम मास्टर्स खत्म भी नहीं हुई मास्टर्स का पहला साल
Right.
इसके के बाद वो सब चीज दबा दी
हाँ ना बहुत गंदा माहौल है सर
हेलो हेलो बोलिए 34 नंबर हेलो हेलो सर हेलो हेलो
Hello, sir. असं तुमचा आवाज येत नाहीये.
Hello.
येस सर, येस, ओके.
Yeah, we'll start after 5 minutes, huh?
येस सर, येस.
Okay. Shall we start? So let us start after the break. Somebody was asking me question. Now one request is there. Somebody without muting was talking loudly and disturbing. Please see that you do not disturb the other participants. I request all of you not to disturb other participants. Unmute yourself. But when you are asking a question, you can always participate and question. So somebody was asking me that how to become a good teacher. Is only becoming a good teacher is by telling stories, telling it with examples. First of all, I would ask all of you to ask 3 questions. Is everything okay with you, with your department, with your subject, with your college, with your university? Have this self examination. Is everything okay with you, with your department, with your teaching, with your subject, with your colleagues, with university? If it is not, then ask what is wrong. If something is wrong, how to correct it. Now, if you expect answers from somebody else like me, that is also not correct. Generally, what we do, just somebody was asking, what should I do? What should I do? Instead of asking questions to others, ask yourself, what I can do? How can I rectify the problem? That joy which you get in finding the solution of your problem yourself, that is enormous. So enjoy that. situation. Don't expect all answers ready-made like a key from somebody. Generally, we are interested. See, as a teacher and student, you are always interested in key of a solution. Questions are given. We want the key to the answers. No, key has to be found out by efforts. Ready-made key, if it is given, it is of no use. So it is better to find out. Then you also understand what are your duties, responsibilities as a teacher. Yes, taking class, completing syllabus cannot be considered as a duty. I have taken my class. I have completed my syllabus. These are all incomplete, incorrect, and wrong statements. First of all, you can never complete syllabus. Syllabus is a thing which cannot be completed. There will be always scope for teaching new things, learning new things. Always your next year class should be better than the first earlier class. So you cannot teach the same. Yeah, subject may be the same, but style of delivery must be different. There is a saying, I think there is a poem. They say that same river doesn't flow again. Same river doesn't flow again. When you look at the river, water has gone. It is not the same river which you have seen 5 minutes back. You saw 5 minutes back different water, different wave. Now the river is different. Now the students are different. Now the gathering in front of you is different. So when you get a new batch of students, find new avenues, new ways of teaching. Same subject can be taught in a different way. Are there any other questions to anybody? From anybody?
Anybody wants to ask the question, kindly raise the hand.
Please. Okay. Now, in the new education policy, there is a concept of what is called as liberal education. What is the meaning of this liberal education? See, liberal education means a cafeteria approach. Cafeteria approach. See, when I go to the restaurant owner doesn't dictate what I should eat. I dictate him that I want to eat this. He will not dictate that you take this, you take this. No, I will dictate. In our education system, teacher is deciding, chairman board of studies is deciding, dean faculty of education is deciding what a student should learn. BCom means this subject, BA these subjects, BSc these subjects. But suppose a physics student wants to learn chemistry, what is wrong? He wants to learn little bit of statistics, computer science. What is wrong? So that is why it is called as choice-based grading system. Choice-based. Choice is in my hand. But of course, there are certain rigid things. Means, suppose I want a particular degree. Suppose I want a BSc degree. Then with some subject. Then in physics, I must learn. What we call it as a core. I can call it core subjects. So I must learn. Suppose I want to have Hindi literature, then Hindi Sahitya ka Abhyas or Hindi poetry or whatever it is. That compulsory. But can I learn in addition English poems also, or Marathi poems also, or Sanskrit also? Or can I take one course in music if I am interested? So this type of flexibility, to some extent, is a must, or that is what is the liberal education. Cafeteria approach. I decide. Not only that, if you remember, sometimes we tell थोड़ा मिर्च कम डालो, थोड़ा ऑयली मत करो. We give instruction. So we must see what type of student is coming. See, as he told me my biodata, I come from IIT background. I taught in Usmania for 40 years. Then I went to a Marathwada region, which is so-called that, I mean, not that forward, but slightly backward. All agricultural background students used to come. So I cannot think my in my administration or my approach cannot be the same as IIT or metro city approach. I have to understand the problem of a student who has come from village, who perhaps is the first graduate, not only his family, but in the village or maybe in taluka. So what are their needs? What are their difficulties? So simply telling because I have to deliver a lecture, I have delivered syllabus or I have, that is not enough. Whether he is understanding or not. Provoke for questioning. Provoke for questioning. See, if you see our all old culture, Indian culture, Indian culture, Indian scriptures, they are all based on questioning. All your old sculptures you see, it is all questions and answers. Learning is always through questions and answers. Our famous Bhagavad Gita, what is it? Questions and answers between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. So that type, as soon as you enter the class, you say, today we want to learn economics. What is poverty? What is poverty? What is the imbalance between a rich person? How do you call a particular person rich? When do you call a particular person poor? When do you call a particular person middle class? 30 years back, definition was different. Today, definition is different. Tomorrow, it will be different. Our salaries are different. Earlier, salaries were in 4 figures. Now they are in 6 figures. Situation has changed. So value also changes. It is not the same. And I tell you, see, all these concepts which we are telling the students, they are our own created stories. Our own created stories. When I say this is 100 rupees note, that is 100 rupees note which has a value only in our country. If you take that 100 rupees note, I can in India, I can buy, let us say, 2 dozens of banana with 100 rupees. That is the value of that 100 rupees note. But same 100 rupees note, if I take to United States, it has no value. You can't buy anything with that 100 rupees note. So its value goes. So please remember, things are flexible as far as their meanings are concerned, their understandings are concerned. Things changes. And there is always a correlation between nature, human being, medical system, engineering. For example, 30 years back, automobile or a car was a subject of mechanical engineering. Car was a subject of mechanical engineering. Today, car is a subject of electronics engineering and computer science engineering, because in today's car, 80% is electronics and computer, IT. So things have changed. Today, when you go to hospital, your diagnosis is hardly, as soon as you go, he only says, you tell something, he says, go and do this test, go and, he hardly asks you questions, what has happened, etc. First, he asks you to go to various tests, and most of those tests, there are electronics instruments. They are operated by computers. So medical field has changed. Everything has changed. So you have to prepare your student to face the world. Tomorrow, when this boy goes for a job and boss gives him a work, he cannot say, I do not know this. No, nobody will listen. I do not know. This world will not be accepted. Or for a teacher, I cannot teach this subject. No, learn and teach. Learn and teach. When you have graduated, when you are postgraduate, when you are already PhD, it means you have a capacity to learn. Why can't you learn? You cannot teach what you have learned. See, I graduated in 1970. So now if I go to the class, I cannot teach what I learned in 1970. It is just meaningless. I have to adapt myself to the present situation. I have to change. See, even this lecturing with online, I was not familiar with how to do it, mute it, how to join the meeting, etc. But when I found that there is no other alternative, if I don't do it, I will be outdated. So I have to learn. I'll give you another example. I am also an author. Earlier, I used to write with pen and paper. Then send it by post office or a courier, and then it will be published after 1 month or 2 months. That much delay was there. Now nobody accepts any article with handwritten article. Nobody is accepting. So if I want to survive or in my hobby of writing, I have to change. I have to type it on a computer. I have to send it by email only as a PDF file or Word file. Otherwise, it is not accepted. But advantage is, if I write today, I send it in the evening, it gets published tomorrow. Whereas earlier it used to take 15 days or 1 month. See, things are changing. Now I don't have to go to post office or a courier person or Xerox it and keep a copy with me. No. If I send it by email, already copy is with me. Earlier I used to Xerox, spend money in Xeroxing. Things have changed. So teacher has to be adaptive. Even in the evaluation system, assignment, you will say, if we give assignment, everybody knows students are copying. Okay, students are copying. Why can't you think of an assignment where there is no scope for copying? There is no scope for copying. Yes, it needs thinking. It is possible. Why can't you make assignment or examination system interesting rather than tension? Always you see, nowadays, or even if you see whole our education system, our examination is a tension. Everybody, boy, girl, always they take tension of it. Why should they take tension? I tell you, you will not believe. When I was in IIT, there was absolutely no tension for undergraduate students whom I am teaching for the examination. If there is an examination tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I have seen students playing guitar in the night up to 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. No tension because they are prepared. Teachers have given them enough grinding so that they are able to face any question. These are challenges, but these we have to create. And there is, if you ask me, what is the formula? No, there is not formula. One formula for me, for you, there can be another formula. I always give this example. For example, for more than 1 decade, I used to take a class test. There is a class test for sessional marks. So I used to take a class test in a very novel fashion. What was the novel fashion? I will tell in the beginning of the semester that in my class, after every unit I complete, there will be a small test of 1 hour. How that test will be conducted? Based on that unit, every student has to prepare 3 or 4 questions which can be solved in 1 hour. Every student has to set a paper. He has also to find a solution. On the day of test, all 50 students come to the class with their question papers. I collect that question paper. I shuffle it like a pack of cards and give his A's question paper will be given to B, B's will be given to D, D's will be given to M, etc. etc. And then I say, okay, write. They are writing the question paper set by their own colleagues. Then I'll say, give it back to the student who has set your paper. He will evaluate or she will evaluate. And then they used to evaluate. Can you believe? The examination was more strict. It was more enjoyable for them because they were part of the evaluator. They were part of the paper setter. They themselves used to set the paper. And honesty was there. Why honesty was there? They used to correct the papers more strictly than me because they know that he is correcting the paper of somebody else. And there used to be a monitoring committee of 4 or 5 students. They will evaluate whether the paper was of standard or not, whether the valuation was proper or not, and they used to give me marks. As a result, at the end of the semester, see, imagine every unit test 50 question papers. So 50 into 3, 150 questions with answers. Suppose I conduct 4 tests, 150 into 4, 600. Students have a question bank with answers of 600 questions on that topic. Do they have to learn again? No, they don't have to study at all. That itself is a revision. That itself is a revision. So what comes? It is not only subject, honesty, responsibility, accountability automatically is coming to the student. It is my responsibility to set a good question. It is my responsibility to evaluate it properly. So as a teacher, if you do, I'm not saying you should do same thing or same thing will be applied. Find out some another way of novel technique of evaluating. You can give a homework which can be done by a group. Give a big problem. Ask them to solve that problem by, let us say, group of 8 to 10 students. Ask them to divide the problem. This student will do this, this student will do this, this student will do this. Combined, they will come, discuss, and finally, they will give you solution. And you can conduct a viva. Who has done what? You can question them. They will enjoy this. And there is no scope for copying. 10 students are involved. There is a copying. Everybody has to participate because you are conducting a viva. And that viva also, so that it should be transparent, you can ask your colleague, please help me in conducting the viva. You can take his help and you can help him or you can help her. So with this process, learning will become an enjoyable experience. Examination will not be a tension, but enjoyable experience. Yes, your university exam, etc., let them conduct, let them do it in their fashion. That is not in your hand. But This continuation evaluation, sessional marks, class test, assignments, that is in your hand. There you can have involvement of the student. You can involve. Just now that management student was asking, what should I do? This is the answer. Do innovation. I always say, if I visit your college, when I leave your college, I must say, I have seen one thing in this college which I have never seen anywhere. That lady, you see, the way in which she was teaching, very good. Or her course file, her assignment, or her project was very good. That laboratory, excellent laboratory, or the way in which the laboratory is conducted. I have never seen this way of conducting the laboratory. Now days have come where it is 1/24, not 10-5. You have equal right. Suppose you take a class in the morning, yes. Afternoon you did not come. Or if you have a class in the late evening, morning you did not come. That is, you have to work like a cooperative society. Cooperative society. And yes, our human system, humanity, is all based on cooperation only. So education cannot be an exception. It is a cooperative business. It is not only you, your subject, and those 50 students. No. You involve nature. Lot of things can be. I'll tell you, in music, if those of you who are aware of some music, you know that there are three saptaka, Madhya Saptak, Mandra Saptak, Tar Saptak. They are related, those frequencies are related by mathematical relationship. One octave, one sa, another sa, then another sa. The difference between the frequency is fixed. Electronically or mathematically, it can be said. When on tabla somebody is playing a tal, that rhythm, that bit, they call it bit. You say the same word is there in computer, bit. Tabla they call bit. Same word is used in computer, bit. So technology, mathematics is not different. We say infinity. Can somebody define infinity? It is just like a God. Can we define a God? Or can you see a God? So suppose I ask you, what is infinity? Is it a number? First of all, everybody knows infinity. You talk infinity, infinity. Is it a number? Then what is infinity? How you define it? So such questions should come in your mind. I have given a simple example to you. Let me give you another example. I will give my aim is to give you a very simple school example. The reason being, because somebody is from management, somebody is from science, somebody is from arts, somebody is from music or fine arts, and I am from engineering. So if I give engineering examples, it will be difficult. But that's why I am giving school examples. Let me tell you how to set a question. See, when you teach a subtraction in school, primary school, you teach a subtraction. After teaching a subtraction, what example you will give to student? You will say, I gave you 100 rupees. You went to the market. You purchased commodities for 50 rupees. What is the balance with you? He will say, if he knows how to subtract, 100 minus 50 is equal to 50. Simple. This is one way of evaluating the student. In this question, there is no creativity. There is no novelty in this question. You are not allowing the student to think. But I will frame the same question in a different fashion. You had 100 rupees. You went to the market. You purchased a commodity for 50 rupees. In how many ways the shopkeeper can return the balance to you? How many ways? Now you see, he can give you 1 rupee coin 50 times. He can give 10 rupee note 10 into 5. He can give 20 rupees 20, 20, 10. So many ways. So many ways he can return. And in answering this question, the student will need at least half an hour to think. He has to find all permutations and combinations. He has to know how many currencies are there to return that 50 rupees in the market, and how many ways, permutations and combination, that 50 rupees can be returned. See, question was same, but now I have added thought process. I have added logic. I have added thinking. And the student has to work. The answer is not easy now. Earlier it was simple, 100 minus 50, 50. But now the answer is not simple. It involves so many things. So you have to, it involves permutation combination. It involves knowledge of all currency notes. It involves addition, subtraction, multiplication, everything. Earlier it was only subtraction. Now it is addition, subtraction, everything, multiplication, 20 into 20, 40, 40 plus 10, 50. So everything is involved. This you have to think. It is possible in every subject. It is possible in arts. It is possible in management. It is possible everywhere. That's why the people call it flexible education, multidisciplinary education. So, see, I tell you, I think Dr. Rafe will share my slide. Generally, I don't believe in sharing my slides simultaneously. I have got some slides under the title Braided Learning. Braided Learning. So, Dr. Rafe or coordinator, you please ask them. They will share my slides later. So, there in my first slide, you will see our original education system, or so-called earlier education system, was like a triangle, whereas now it is like a rectangle. I am repeating, our original education system was like a triangle. Our present education system is like a rectangle. Can anybody understand this and tell me how meaning of this sentence? Let us discuss this. I repeat, original old examination system was like a triangle. New examination system or new education policy expects you to be like a rectangle. What do I want to say? Yes, you apply your thought process and tell me. Yes. Can anybody tell me why I call that as a triangle and why I call this as a rectangle? Yes, please. Think. What is the significance of a triangle as an old system, and what is the significance of a rectangle as a new system? No, it is very simple, I say. Yes, 107. 107 has raised a hand. Unmute. 107. Unmute 107. Yes. Coordinator 107 has raised the hand. Can you allow him to reply? Yes, please. Doesn't matter. You try. Even answer is wrong. You need not be afraid. Yeah, 60. 60 wants to answer. 60. 60 wants to answer.
Yes,
Hello, sir.
Unmute. 60.
हेलो सर
Yes, please.
सर अभी जो ट्रायंगल है जो 3 माध्यम है, टीचर है, स्टूडेंट है और पेरेंट्स है, और जो रेक्टेंगल होने वाला है अभी उसमें सोसाइटी इन्वॉल्व है.
I'm sorry, it's not, no, it is not correct. It
Okay,
is
sir.
not. Okay, anybody else?
participant
Anybody
have
else?
question. You can raise the hands.
Yeah, raise the hand and so that he will unmute.
Okay.
Yes. Anybody? No. See, you are not trying. Let there be a live discussion. See, earlier what was happening, you were jack of all trades, but master of nothing. See, in our school, you learn all subjects. In school, learn all subjects. Language you learn, physics, thoda science, history, etc. As you go up, you learn BSc, BCom. So BSc fellow will not learn commerce. Commerce fellow will not learn science. Is it not? So, and afterwards also, after BSc, when you do MSc, you do only physics, only chemistry. So MSc in physics, MSc in chemistry. So physics fellow doesn't learn much chemistry or biology. But if you are doing biology, you don't learn physics. So it is like a triangle. As you go, and once you do PhD, so you do, again specialization becomes narrow. So first it was broad. As you go, BSc, MSc, PhD, you become narrow and narrow. You have done PhD in some field. So you become expert only in that. You ask any other thing, you say, I will not teach. I will not teach that subject. So it is like that. Now what is expected in the new education policy is everything you must know. Even if you are doing science, you have to know finance. See, suppose you join a company, that for company, suppose I am doing pharmacy, let us say. I have learned pharmacy. When I joined some pharmacy company, for that pharmacy company, that product, profit is important. So I must know marketing. I must know money business. I must know management. I must know communicating with the people, handling people. So much, and of course, now computer is very much required. Computer is very much required. So it is now like a rectangle. So base is broad. I know everything. I know computer. I know little bit of mathematics. You cannot say, no, I cannot do math. Because now you don't have to do mathematics by yourself. Whether it is addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc., it is all done by computer. So you don't have to bother. But that for calculation, that data has to be prepared by you. Formulation, see, computer will not formulate a problem. See, when you do PhD, what do? You formulate a problem. You collect a data, analysis. That analysis part computer does. If you have collected lot of data, right, and I have to draw a curve, etc. That drawing a curve, analyzing it, coming to the conclusion, how much percentage is it, all that calculations, complex calculation, that computer can do. But I have to do formulation of a problem. And understanding from that data is also my problem. Suppose there is some graph, that what that graph is telling. I'm telling you, you had corona. In corona, the number of deaths, the number of hospitalization, the number of oxygen beds, all those data, all those figures given by various countries, etc., they were all, including that World Health Organization or whatever you call it, or medical departments, etc. They were all vague. That thing was believable. That thing was believable. So remember, in life, there are certain things where the problem solutions are fake, solutions are unbelievable. Just some time back, I asked you, what is the application of the theorem that two sides of a triangle is always greater than third side in the triangle? Nobody was able to answer. I tell you, are you not using Uber taxi? When you sit in the taxi and from your residence, you have to go to, let us say, railway station. First, he is supposed to choose what is called as shortest path. Shortcut, you say, shortcut. So that shortcut is nothing but that third line. Because if you go by any other route, it will be wronger. So if you do something like a triangle, if you go left and go that way, it is more. But if you go from your house to railway station in somehow straight line, that is the so-called shortest path. So please remember, in that Uber application, in a mobile, when you want to travel from a destination A to destination B by a shortest path, you are using that theorem which you studied in your school. But there is one but. What is that but? When you sit in the taxi, this taxi wala does not go by that route, short route. He knows it is short route, but he doesn't go. He wants to go by different route. Now what happens? You ask him, अरे भाई वो short route है, आप इधर से क्यों चल रहे? What is the answer he gives? Sir, that is traffic is less. There are no traffic signals. We can reach earlier. So route is slightly longer, maybe half a kilometer or 1 kilometer longer route, but you are able to reach earlier. What is our aim? Our aim is to reach early. So of course, by shortest route is there, but if on shortest route, there are a lot of traffic signals, there is a morcha, there is a traffic jam, there is no point in going there. So remember, in life, correct answer need not be a perfect solution. Correct answer need not be a perfect solution. When you see a bride or bridegroom, you see whatever you want. You want this, this quality is that quality is that quality. Yes, you say tick, 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 tick. Everything is okay. But the girl or a boy may not be, in spite of that all qualities being there, he or she may not be a perfect match for you. as a life partner. So correct solution or visible solution need not be the correct solution. Same thing is true with medical field also. You go to the doctor with a chest pain. One doctor says you have to do angiography. Another doctor says immediate operation is required. Third doctor says you take this medicine, operation is not required. You are same person, three doctors, different decisions, different solutions. And that is true. You cannot say this doctor was wrong or this doctor is wrong or that. In their opinion, that doctor is correct. He feels it has to be done. He feels angiography has to be done. He feels operation is not required. So all were taught same medical education, but their solutions are different. So I think you have to look at the education, learning process. Please remember, learning is not for getting degree. You remove that thing from your mind. Nobody is bothered about your degree. Nobody is bothered about your marks. Why? I will tell you. I will tell you. You want to appear for a post of a professor. Qualification is PhD with 10 years experience. What does it mean? Suppose 40 candidates have appeared for the interview. Okay? 40 candidates have appeared for the interview. They were having all PhD, all were having 10 years experience. But one is selected. One is selected. All were having same. What does it mean? Now, for selection, degree has become irrelevant. 10-year experience has become, that was so-called minimum requirement. But for selection does not depend on that degree or that thing. Selection depends on how you present yourself. How do you impress that board that I can teach better, I can deliver good, I can deliver what you want. And that is true, I'm not joking. I do not know how many of you are reading the books by Sudha Murthy. You know, this Infosys chairman, Narayan Murthy's wife. Excellent book. If you want to read good English and simple English, you can read all books. Stories are there, some incidents are there, articles are there. So she is sharing her experience in a very simple language, and her English is very simple. So in her one book, she tells one incident, which is I'm sharing with you. She was interviewing a candidate because she is a computer engineer. So when she became the Infosys Foundation chairman, they wanted some computer person, knowing a particular language. You know, in computer there are different languages. C language is there, Python is there, so many languages are there. So they wanted an expert who knows a particular language. So obviously in interview, she was asking questions. Do you know this language? So everybody was saying, oh yes, we know. So accordingly, they were asking questions, but they were not able to answer. When you go deep into it, one candidate came. She asked, do you know this language? He said, no, madam, I do not know this language. Remember, he honestly said, I do not know this language. But there was no full stop. He said another sentence. He said, madam, I do not know this language. Please give me 15 days. I will learn and deliver the goods. He said, give me 15 days. I will learn and deliver the goods. Do you know? All those who said, I know the language, were not selected, but a person who said, I do not know, but I can learn and deliver, was selected. Was selected. And these are the true stories. I am not making the stories. So your degrees, see I know in engineering, top companies, etc. Nobody will look at your mark list. Nobody will look whether you have come from IIT or from metro city or from village or from where. No, they will not also bothered whether you are fluent in English or not. What they bother? If I throw this boy or a girl in a river, can he or she swim independently? Can he or she find the another bank, reach another bank or destination on her own by learning? That person is selected. Nobody bothers they don't bother. They don't ask questions on, you know this mathematics, you know this formula, you know. No, these are not asked. I'll give you another example of an interview where student was asked only 3 questions in Infosys. Infosys company interview. Long story. 30 years back. A true story. Girl from very ordinary college, engineer, with 68% marks, not top 10, etc. Not first rank, second rank, no, 68%. And not from IIT or NIT, ordinary college, government college, ordinary college. 3 questions were only asked. First question, have you appeared for any interview before this? Girl said no. Girl said yes, I have appeared. Second question, were you selected? Girl said no, I was not selected. Last question, third question, why you were not selected? Why you were not selected? The girl answered, that is the loss to that company and not to me. The fact that they did not select me is loss to that company, not to me. Girl was immediately selected for Infosys. She is earning lakhs of crores of rupees today. They did not bother about any other thing. They knew that this girl can do anything. This is the thing. So why I am giving this example, that your attitude towards your student must change. What you teach, how you teach, how much you teach, that is also important. How much you teach in the class and how much you allow them to learn on their own. Everything need not be taught in the class. It is there in the textbook. That derivation, suppose there is a big theorem derivation, proof of a theorem. Why should you teach if everything is there in? Tell on this page, this book, this chapter, please see. If you have any difficulty, we will do it tomorrow. And ask next day, have they understood or not? Ask one student to go to the blackboard and find out whether he has learned or not. If he has not done, teach him a lesson. So you have to find, and if you will say, no, sir, we cannot do this, you don't tell me all these things. You will have 100 excuses. We can't do this, we can't do this. This will happen, that will happen. All these are your imaginary things. Nobody can question, nobody can stop you from doing good things. Yes, if you are doing something illegal, something selfish, something for your own benefit, something which will harm somebody, if you are doing that, yes, they will object. But if it is for the benefit of the student, neither the management, nor the superiors, nor the parents will say anything. Right? Again, we are now on the verge of closing down. So again, last 15 minutes, we will want to have some beautiful discussion and some question answer session. Again, I will appeal all of you that please feel free. There is no necessity that you should agree with whatever I have said. You can have your different opinion. I will welcome it. But express yourself. Tell any innovative idea if you have, so that other can benefit. If you have experimented something, share. Or if you have doubts, questions, share. Now, the forum is open for discussion once again. Coordinator, please monitor.
So participants, you can unmute themselves. You are permitted, you can unmute.
Raise your hand and your coordinator will control. Let us have really, I tell you, if you really want me to end this with a satisfaction, let us have 15 minutes fruitful interaction. I say interaction. Share your things. Don't consider my word as the last word. Express your opinion. I feel like this. I feel this is a problem. Like that. Okay, go ahead. Come on. So many things are there. See, you even you can have a topic slightly different also. I mean, if I have not covered a particular thing, on that also you can ask something. Generally, our thing is teaching methodology, evaluation process, continuous evaluation, examination system, teacher-student relationship, right? These are the normal things. But if you want to laboratory, development of laboratory, if you are science, or giving assignments, giving projects, anything you can ask. Question, please. Questions, doubts, opinions, anything. Please, unless you speak out, I will consider that this session was not successful. 36. 36 want to speak. Unmute and talk.
36, you can unmute themselves. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. That was wonderful lecture, and we enriched by your knowledge, sir. Thank you very much. So my question is that not a question actually. I want to take opinion from you. That is the creativity in students.
First, tell me your
depends.
specialization. Tell me your subject specialization.
Sir, I am a sports student actually. My background is sports science.
Okay, very good. Oh, very good.
Okay, so my question is the creativity in students is depends on the creativity of the teacher or syllabus.
It depends on mutual work between teacher and student. It doesn't depend on the syllabus. See, syllabus is some guideline that you have to teach. See, because you are from sports, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Now there are rules in cricket or football. Rules are there. Agreed?
Yes.
But actual game is different for different person, is it not?
Yes.
Actual khel, actual sport, actual playing is individual best. Sachin Tendulkar is different than some Rohit Sharma, is it not?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir.
Game is same. Game is cricket. But two are different. Approach is different. Approach is thinking, playing, looking at it. See, Sachin Tendulkar has his friend, one friend, Vinod Kambli. He was
Yes,
also
sir.
good in sports. But where he has reached and what is his colleague? So it
In
means,
discipline, sir.
no, whatever it is, whatever, let us not comment on that. What I mean to say, having a talent is not enough. How you are using your talent is important. The creativity is what? How you use your talent. Everybody is creative. I am telling you. There is a joke. One famous doctor says, when you are born, everybody is creative, everybody is intelligent. When you become fool after going to the school, you become fool after going to the school. I mean, of course, jokingly he says, but this is a statement by a famous doctor. Okay, anything. One wants to say something. One. Number one, unmute and talk.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
please.
sir.
Yes.
Good evening again. This is Dr. Seema Kamle from Visual Art. Sir, actually, I want to share our teaching methodology with you. It is quite
Please.
different than others.
Please.
Actually, it is one-to-one teaching process.
Yes.
In assignments, we give one problem and one thing to do for students. And every student, then we have a 60 student intake per class. So every student research on that, and they thought differently from each other, give a different
Correct.
solution and a different idea. Yes, I
Correct.
think it's give a student more freedom to work and think on the
Correct.
problem and get a solution. And
Yes, yes.
then that manners, they get more and more opportunities in professional field, actually, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
So
correct.
this is our practice, sir.
No,
Yeah.
that's good. See, you must encourage for different solutions. In fact, I should say, there is some textbook solution, or some methodology, fixed methodology. But if a student can think differently, because in everything, art, science, music, everything, are you not seeing there is a progress? Whatever music was there 100 years back, same music is not there today. What was Bollywood music in 1970s? Bollywood music in 2020 or 2024 is entirely different. Same music is there, same instruments are there, but music directors are different, singers are different. Is it not? So that applies. Same thing is true with your science, technology, everything. Now, even illiterate Sabjiwali is able to collect the money through Paytm or QR code. She does not know the meaning of QR code, but she is accepting 20 rupees or 10 rupees or 15 rupees through QR code. Is it not? So see, she has not gone to college, she doesn't know C of computer, but even Chaiwala is using Paytm. Those people who have problem in English are able to send messages in English. That is the real beauty of so-called technology. Let their spelling mistakes are there. Okay. Please, they don't write please. They write PLZ. Doesn't matter. How does PL only write? But as long as you are able to communicate, what else you want? Okay. So yes, trying in encouraging the student for their own different ideas is always welcome. Always welcome. Just some time back, when management teacher asked me a question, I think he was asking about how to deal with the same thing. I'll tell you a story, and this you can take it as a homework and think in the night before you sleep. The quality of a teacher. Do you know what is a good? Who can be a good teacher? A good teacher is a teacher who does not allow students to sleep. Once he gives you a thought which will keep you on thinking. So all of you, I am giving a thought or I am telling a story which will disturb your sleep. Story is like this. It is related with moral values and ethical principle. There is a receptionist at the counter, or you call it as a hospital. There is a multi-specialty hospital, and on the reception counter, there is a coordinator of that hospital who knows who, if any patient comes, goes to her, and she advises them properly. So 2 or 3 people from village, they come and they tell that we have come here. My father has got some heart problem, and in our village they told us that this is the best hospital, and therefore we have come here. What is the expenses, etc., etc.? They are discussing with her. Now she knows that these people are there. The persons who are there, who come from village, they are very poor. The rate of the operation in the hospital is, let us say, 5 lakhs rupees. 5 lakhs. Yes, quality, etc. is perfect. Hospital is good. But that operation is done by that, that operation is done in her hospital with 5 lakhs rupees. But she knows that there is a nearby hospital with the same facility. But it is not that famous. But as far as doctors are concerned, there also same expert doctor is available, and the operation is done in, let us say, 2 lakhs. Now, the question is, what should that coordinator do? Should she advise these people to go to that another hospital and get it done in 2 lakhs and convince them, yes, that is also good, don't bother, our is also good, but we charge 5 lakhs. But if she does this and asks that person to go there, she is deceiving her own employer. She was employed for that hospital. Her duty is to convince the patients to join that hospital. But she says she feels that that person is in. Now there is a dilemma in the story. There is a moral values, ethical problem, empathy, sympathy towards that poor family. So many things are involved. And the answer is not unique. If she asks them to go there, she is not doing her job honestly. She is not doing her duty and responsibility honestly for that hospital for which who is paying her salary, happy salary. Her job was to attract the patients in that hospital, convince them to join that hospital. But if she tells that she is helping the poor person and saving 3 lakhs rupees for him, now go home and discuss, think morally, ethically, what is correct, what is wrong. See, there cannot be one answer for such problem. Okay? Yes, any other question? And such questions, such situations will come in your life as a teacher quite often when you deal with young people. Because all of you, as a teacher, Every year you are dealing with a young bunch of students, 16 to 20, full of energy, full of zeal, full of enthusiasm, full of dreams, rich ideas. And it is your responsibility and duty to mold them, to encourage them, rather than, that they join Morcha, they join some other group, or they absent from the classes. That is your responsibility. Simply teaching is not a responsibility. That is like a cup of tea. Teaching is like a cup of tea. Once you start teaching, it is like a drinking cup of tea. Something beyond that. Yes. Last 5 minutes are there. We have 5 minutes. If one or two questions. Again, one. Okay, one.
Yeah, sir. Again, I want to express my things. Like we have no any book for reference. Okay, and our syllabus is very old, and it is like open-ended syllabus. There is no uh, proper guidelines. It is designed before 60 years back, and due to its open-endedness, we are explorer. We can elaborate or give a more chance to develop it, and there is no book, so we are like very free birds
But
to take the
it's
thing.
okay, madam. But
Yeah.
for your subject like visual arts or this thing, performing arts, this is okay. But let us say for physics, it cannot be done like that, because when I want to study physics, then I have to study some principles. I have to study a structured syllabus. When I am doing BCom, then I have to do some finance, some management courses, some budgeting. I must know taxing. I must know how the taxing is done, how the insurances are calculated. So there is a structure. There is not freedom. So definitely, see, arts has a lot of freedom. That's why they call it liberal arts. But in science, engineering, yes, but there also you can have freedom of thinking. But structured is always there. In engineering, science, theorem is a theorem. Some law is a law. Einstein, E is equal to mc square is A is equal to mc square. I cannot write it separately. Okay. Some laws of thermodynamics are there. They are like that. I have to teach him that way only. Yes, but to teach them, I can use different examples. To teach the principle of gravity, I can take beautiful examples. That is possible. Yes. Again, I would like to tell you, my intention of giving this talk was not, the rigid thing to show some slide. Of course, slides will be shown to you, shared to you. That is a different story. That you can take it as a bonus. But to encourage you to think differently, to understand what is the significance of quality, what is the significance of doing something different, innovative thing. How Mr. So and so is different. How Mrs. So and so is different. You have to be different. You cannot be a person traveling in the same boat. No. Okay. Any other question? If there are no questions, coordinator can close the session. Any question? Okay. Thank you very much. I thank the participants. So don't forget, After the lecture, you have to set 2 questions with multiple answers and give the solution also. According to you, write a question, 4 options A, B, C, D, and what is the solution, and email to the coordinator. All of you must send it within 1 hour. So it is 5:30. By 6:30, your email should reach coordinator. Thank you very much.